to Hermit Woods, where there's a story in every bottle.
That'd be fun. Whoa!
Here we are.
Hey!
Here we are.
Here we are.
We're live.
Cheers!
From halfway around the planet. Cheers.
Cheers.
What planet are you?
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Bob.
The other half of this one. Yeah. I don't know if I can do that. We're good.
Oh, I just spilled wine all over his keyboard.
That's all right. Just kidding.
Well, it's good to see you guys. So everybody, welcome to another episode. We just have a couple people on with us today. So I'm going to keep this brief, but if you are joining us and you are joining us for the first time, please do subscribe to our channel. You can subscribe on YouTube right below. Yes, there it is. And you can subscribe on Facebook with a little bell on your screen there. And if you subscribe, you'll get notified anytime you go live, anytime we go live from wherever we are in New Hampshire or maybe Italy. You never know. And also, if you like the broadcast, please share it with your friends and anybody you think who might enjoy watching or partaking in the conversation with us. And if you have any comments, please leave those comments in the comment section. If you have questions, we will get to those questions just as soon as we can during the live broadcast, or maybe after if we can't get to it during the live show. And let us know if you're here, and if you are enjoying a beverage, let us know what you're enjoying. Yeah. What are you guys enjoying on the couch there?
Sorry, you're talking.
What are you drinking?
We're talking amongst ourselves.
I don't know if I want to know.
We have a little ADD.
You're live.
Yeah, so we're having a wine.
Oh, look at that! It's not Italian. It's French.
It's not Italian. I looked for Italian, Bob. I wanted to pull Italian out of my cellar, but all I had was old French wine. So unfortunately,
crappy old
Chuck and I have to suffer through
French wine.
An old French wine. Which is surprisingly youthful
and soft and
really.
Sultry.
Yeah, it's amazing. 24 years old.
What?
Smells like an old barrel.
You guys are stealing the show, drinking a 24-year-old French Margaux.
Hey, you gotta keep up.
We gotta keep up with you, Bob.
Only if
you're hanging out in Florence drinking Chianti.
Is Bob in Florence drinking Chianti?
In Florence. Look, I bought this today from a little winery in Chianti. Yeah, here it is. Made right here.
You've been to Chianti?
I mean, yeah, it's right across the street practically. we're in right. What's that?
What makes a Chianti a Chianti?
The place that it's made, the Chianti region.
Huh?
We're in
What? Really?
So yeah. You guys know this.
It has nothing to do with the little wicker basket thing around the bottle that you put a candle in and let it drip.
Or like the grapes and stuff and the Matus. That was what is it?
Do you guys know the grape of Chianti?
It's Sangiovese.
What's the major grape of Chianti?
Sangiovese.
Hey, you do know your Chiantis.
Sangiovese.
Hey, we got Matt on with us today and Christine. Hi, guys. Glad you could join us.
Matt, where's the 22 sizer from, Matt? Not Hermit Woods.
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't have a 22 sizer.
No.
Maybe.
So anyway, if you're just if you're just joining us and you're curious about what's going on here, let me catch you up. My wife and I, Jerilyn, left on February 20th for a 15-day or 16-day trip to Florence, Italy, and that is where I am right now. It is actually it's 11:37 here at night in Florence, and 5:30 back in New Hampshire with Ken and Chuck. And we thought we'd just catch up. I haven't really had a chance to talk to Ken and Chuck in about 10 days, and we thought this would be a great opportunity for us to catch up a bit, and I could share some of my travels. And I have a collection of pictures I want to share with everybody, and we'll get to that in a minute. And so that's where we're at. This is the background. Here is the place that I'm staying at. We have a friend. If any of you who've enjoyed Craig Jaster perform at the winery, he has a small house in Florence, Italy, that he has shared with us for a few weeks, and that's where we're staying. So thank you, Craig, if you're out there paying attention.
You got a phone call, your feed changes.
Ken, Matt said it's a 21.
21 sizer.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that a thing?
Would that be?
I believe that's the thing. Yes. I do know we have a brand new sizer that we just released a month ago, which is from 23.
Oh, that's right.
Are we there?
That's right.
Chuck is
looking
through lots of windows, trying to figure out where we are in the digital realm. All I see are bears on a tree.
You're on the show. I see you. So
okay.
I don't know what you're clicking through, but
I don't see you. I just see lots of windows that he's clicking through, and
look at those bears.
That's all fine.
See the bears?
You should go back, Chuck, because I'm gonna share some pictures.
Good. I'd like to see those pictures, Bob.
No, can you
Chuck
put
could
your
get
pictures onto my basic screen?
He just stopped clicking. He's just leaving
There's nothing,
his desktop.
All I see is my desktop.
He wants you to put stuff on his desktop.
Can you put pictures on my desktop?
I can't do that. But for the benefit of everybody else who's decided to join us today, I'm going to share my screen here.
I must say, Bob,
and I'm going to
10 days without you guys, it's kind of rough for me.
Well, it's almost over. I'm going to be back in 5 days. Less than that, actually, now.
That's 5 days.
All right.
Probably again. Where the heck did you go? Are you on Chrome?
Can everybody see this?
There he is.
There we go.
He was on Chrome. You were on Chrome the whole time.
Chrome?
Yeah.
I'm glad you
All
figured that out.
Can you see this pictures? Can you see the pictures on your screen, Chuck?
Yeah. Who are those people you're with?
All right. So I thought I would start because on our very first day in Florence, we had just gotten off the plane. We just found our home and went to the store to get some supplies before crashing very hard after flying for 24 hours. And we go into this little coffee shop and we meet this couple who were the nicest people. And they helped us buy our first Italian purchase because we couldn't speak the language, obviously. And we're struggling we're exhausted from flying and we're struggling with the language and trying to buy these 2 beers. And these two stepped in and helped us. And we ended up chatting with them for 45 minutes, and it was a wonderful time getting to know them. And they're traveling the world. They're off on a worldwide adventure. Their goal is to visit every part of Italy before they leave. And so anyway, I thought I'd share because I thought that was really an interesting way to introduce ourselves to Italy, is to meet 2 people from Texas who are going to join us on Wednesday night. We're going to a very special place, a place called Dario's. I'll show you a picture of that in a bit. And it's a famous place. And if you want to learn about Dario's, and you should want to learn, watch the Netflix series Chef's Table, episode 6, and you will learn all about Dario. He's quite the fascinating person. So anyway, this is the start of our journey. This is the home. This is where I'm sitting right now. I'm sitting at this table, one of these 2 chairs here.
Nice.
And that's where we're living. Yeah, it's very comfortable. And here's another picture of it, another view. And here's looking back. I'm sitting right there in this chair. And so there's our home. And this was a highlight of our trip. This is the cathedral in downtown Florence. And this is the dome. It's
That was
an
a Duomo?
absolutely amazing place. It's the Duomo.
Yeah, Duomo. Yeah, there's
And,
Duomos
it's actually in what?
there's a Duomo in Milan. There's a Duomo in Rome. Duomo means
Sure, probably, yes. Dome. Yeah. I forget the name of the actual church. It's in my Facebook post, but the church obviously has its own name, and the dome is one of the largest, or I think the largest in Italy. And the fun part is we were able to tour the whole place. In fact, we got up to right here. I was walking around at the very top of the bell tower, and walking around at the very top of the cupola on top of the dome. It is huge. It is the most amazing and massive feature of Florence. You can see it from everywhere in the city. It's really a cool place. And here is the recommended place to get the best Negroni. And it's rumored that this might be the place where the Negroni was born, where the recipe was first developed. And this was on recommendation from Food and Wine magazine. So we had to go have a Negroni at this wonderful little place.
And was it a great Negroni?
It really was. I am a big fan of Negronis. I really enjoy them. I've had several since I've been here. And competing for the spot of Negroni fame is another Food and Wine recommendation just down the street, the House of Negroni. What a delightful place! You could just hang out at the bar, and they give you food and they give you drinks, they sell you drinks, but they give you food, and it's just really a wonderful experience. And their Negronis were also exceptional. It's also you can't visit Florence without being overwhelmed with art. There's art everywhere. We did visit a couple art museums, but there's art on all the streets. And 14th and 15th century sculptures abound, and the 1 or 2 days where we had free of rain, this was taken from, and it was taken from the bridge. And actually, Ken, your friend Marco has been in touch with me several times through Facebook.
Great.
He's living vicariously through my trip to Florence, because he's but he had spent time here. I don't know if he grew up here or if he traveled here or
there.
what his experience.
He went to the American school there, and I met him in college. We were both 17 or something, but he grew up going to the American school in Florence.
Well, he's been commenting on my various pictures, and he informed me that the bridge that I'm taking this picture from was the only bridge that didn't get blown up in World War II. So obviously the one I'm looking at did get blown up in World War II.
He's also a big World War II.
Yeah, he seems very knowledgeable.
Looks like they fixed it up pretty good.
No, that's not the bridge. I'm standing on the bridge. You'll see the bridge in another picture soon, the one that survived. That one was blown up because all
that's what I'm saying.
Were blown up.
I'm saying I think it looks pretty good now.
Oh, they fixed it up. Yes, they've done a nice job. Excellent job restoring it.
Yes, well done. Well done there to Italy, fixing things.
Oh, Bob,
Florentians.
I'm glad you got a picture, because we did change the eatery a little bit while you were gone, and that's currently what it looks like, deli counter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh my God, that's exactly
I've been wanting that to.
Wow. So precise.
If you haven't, you should. The displays of meats and cheeses, it's just, oh my goodness, it's everywhere.
I'm sure you got lots of pictures to share of those, so that we can. Now you're on the bridge.
Yes, that's the bridge. This is the one that survived. I'm on the one that got blown up now.
Okay.
But the one in the back here is the one that survived. Pizza. There's pizza everywhere, and lots of pizza.
It looks
and
like it's on fire.
It's all made in these brick ovens. Every restaurant in Italy, I think, has one of these ovens in it. It's tons of pizza.
And it's amazing how fast it cooks, right? How quickly you can get a pizza.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, you go in and you order pizza, and
8
30
minutes
minutes later, there it is, piping hot.
Yeah.
In front of you. And it's not sliced, right?
No, you have to ask for it to be sliced.
Yeah.
And
They
what's
don't slice.
amazing is people eat a lot of pizza here, and a table of 5 or 4 or 5 people will sit down, and it's amazing. They all order their own.
Yeah, you got a whole
You
pizza.
don't share pizza here. You eat your whole pizza.
Yeah.
Jerilyn and I of course, we always share pizza. I could never eat a whole pizza. So,
Oh yeah, you could.
Oh, you could there. You
Certainly
could there.
could eat a whole pizza, Bob. You're selling yourself short.
I don't know. I probably could, but I probably
Here's
shouldn't.
it. I'm sure you can eat a whole one. I mean, there's far less mass in a whole pizza in Florence than there is in a ribeye steak at Chuck's Camp.
Well, there's a good point there. Yeah.
Just put you on the big
So
screen.
this is
Just
this is from the bell
necks.
tower.
That's because we're looking at.
Now I can't hear him.
Are you still
can hear
talking,
you,
Bob?
but
Oh, I'm muted, Bob.
I'm
Sorry.
still talking.
You.
You muted me. You're making the show difficult, Chuck. Come on.
I am.
You finally put it up on the screen. Thank you.
Like is there, and then
How come we haven't
if you're
had
on
a,
YouTube-
How come we haven't had a floating thumb?
yeah,
in the
how come
middle of
there's
our
no more
broadcast?
balloony things of?
haven't
That's a
said-
great photo. Sorry, everybody. I put Bob on the big screen because
That's right.
these photos are much.
Now you're going to see Chuck's chin and my
Yeah,
chin
Yeah, sorry about
and,
that.
and under our chin.
But it's
as
all
we
really.
look up.
It's really just all about us, anyway. So.
Clearly.
Clearly.
I heard that. Sorry, Bob.
That's another great
We
photo.
tried it. It's tough when we take them out in public.
So is that from the top of the dome of the Domo in?
It's from
Florida?
the top of the dome.
The dome in Domo. Oh, that's super cool. Look kind of cloudy.
And this is the top of the bell tower. Yeah, it's a little cloudy.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And that's the inside of the
That's
dome. I'm
Yeah.
standing right here in this last picture. I'm standing right here in this little window.
Wasn't that painted by Leonardo? Didn't Da Vinci
No,
paint that?
I don't know who painted it.
I thought Da Vinci painted in.
No.
Florence.
To get into the dome,
Oh, nice stairway.
you had to climb 400.
Uh-oh.
160 steps.
Internet.
Some of them as narrow as it's.
Do you think that this is stressing out the internet here?
I don't know why it would. It's just splitting the signal, but it's definitely not
That
as good as it was
is in
before.
Venice. Right.
Hi, Bob.
Bring us back.
Well,
We're
for
back.
the
We had
benefit
an
of anybody
internet
else
problem.
who might be listening, I'll continue. I've now switched to Venice. This is the Rialto
that's
Bridge.
the
in
Rialto
Venice.
Bridge. Yeah. I've been across there.
Yes.
Did you guys go for a boat ride? Did you go on a gondola with your sweetie pie?
And yes, well, I went to the very. Of course I did. Of course, we had to. That was a bucket list item. That, of course, is not me. But that was fascinating. The water on the channel is pretty rough.
Yes.
If you have not been to Venice,
Go.
I think that's the next part. Go.
Go.
But we don't get to hear that.
Go.
He's saving it.
Yeah. Been there.
Yes, indeed. Maya's dad had a
Tower,
girlfriend for
there's
many
also
years. That was her city, from New York City to Venice. That was it, back and forth. How'd you get that shot?
Did you bring
Look
your
at that.
drone, Bob?
No, I don't think he would.
They wouldn't allow a drone there. Oh, because there's a tower next to that, to the church.
There is, but I don't think it's that high. I remember going up there.
I don't know if it's us or you,
that
Bob.
high.
But
This is
Yep, I remember. I was up there just a year ago.
I've never gone up in that tower. Ah,
Those big bottles.
You got.
That's a scrawny Pinot.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Dario.
There he is.
That's Dario.
You got to meet the guy.
Oh yeah. This is amazing that I did too. This was just, we walked in to see the butchery so we'd know where it is when we go to dinner.
And he happened to be
there of the chef's table. Yeah, it was amazing. And he sewed such a
That's
joyful
great.
and
That's not in Venice, though.
just delightful person. Yeah, that's his place now. That's the bridge over the Arno that survived the war.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at that sky.
Yeah. Whoa.
Now this is the winery that I visited.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they spent a little.
It's-
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is, and I couldn't. I mean, I would have needed another hour to walk around and show the scale of this place.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And that was a shot from when we were on the dirt road scaling the 2,000-foot mountain on this little tiny dirt road, tiny little rent-a-car. And that's a little villa we saw at the top. It was kind of cool.
Wow.
And then this was the only winery that we actually, this was the second winery we visited so far that was open. And,
It doesn't look very efficient.
Had a nice time.
Two people to carry one cluster of grapes.
Well, you see the size of the cluster?
Well, that's true. Good comment.
You're
And-
back to Venice.
This is in, no, now we're in Siena.
It's the same tower.
Every
Similar.
Similar.
town in Italy, I think, has one of those towers.
One of those towers, yeah.
So you're in Siena.
Yeah.
My father spoke highly
Yeah.
of Siena. He was there during one of their horse events in the square. Just a wonderful village.
It really was. We didn't get too much time there. I think we're going to go back. It's supposed to be nice weather on Thursday and Friday, so I think we're going to go and try and spend some time. We got to Venice at 4:00. I mean, Siena at 4:00, and it was raining and it was blowing 20-mile-an-hour winds, and it was like 45 degrees out.
I think that would be a good couple days if you could get back there with nice weather for sure.
Yeah. We weren't happy. We just ducked into a pizza place and had another pizza. Saved the day. It was actually kind of nice.
Did you split one or did you have your own?
We split one. I haven't had my own yet. We split them.
Oh.
But we went in and said to the guy, there was nobody in there. It was early. It was 5:00, and they don't eat here till 7 or 8.
Yeah,
most
7 or 8.
restaurants don't even open till 7:00. So,
Right.
but they were open and there was nobody there. So he says, "Come on in. He's going to give us dinner." And we're like, "No. We just want a couple drinks. We just want to sit down and have a couple drinks." And he says, well, he was very upset, disappointed, yanks the silverware off, takes everything off the table, and just says, "Okay, here's your drink menu," and he walks away. And then another server came up because he obviously didn't want to have anything to do with us. And the other server was very nice and took our order, and we had a glass of wine, and Jerilyn had another drink, and then 5 minutes later, the server comes over with a whole pizza, and he says, "I have your pizza." And we said, "We didn't order a pizza. We're having drinks." It's appetizer. Comes with the drinks.
What?
So yeah, He was trying to convince us to stay for dinner. So he came back after we enjoyed the pizza, and we said, "That's one of the best pizzas we've had. So thank you so much for sharing your pizza with us." And he says, "Now you stay for dinner." No, I don't need to stay for dinner.
Now you stay for dinner.
Oh, that's a dilemma.
That's excellent.
Well, it wasn't. We didn't stay for dinner. They were very nice, and we said we were going to come back to Siena in a couple of days, and I said we're going to come back, and when we come back, if we do, we're going to have dinner here. We promise.
Good.
You got us. You hooked us. Yeah.
Wow. What an adventure.
Yeah, it's been an adventure. We've had lots of interesting things to talk about, and I'm just scratching the surface. I mean, we've been here for 10 days, so I mean, there's everything from learning the bus system. I mean, we're in Florence, so the only way to get around in Florence is to take a bus. To try and drive our rent-a-car into the city every day would just be mayhem and very risky, and parking is a nightmare. So you have to learn the bus system. The bus system here is cuckoo bananas. It's easy to use, but nobody pays for it. There's these tickets, and you're supposed to get on the bus and get these tickets stamped. Nobody stamps the tickets. They just come and go off the bus. And they tell you, they say, well, if you're caught on the bus without a stamped ticket, you could get a big fine.
Right.
And so we stamp our tickets most of the time. But if it's a short ride, we say, well, let's take a risk. But we've been on the bus, I don't know, 30 times, and we've never seen anybody checking tickets. So I don't know. It's a pretty weird system. But we figured the bus out pretty quickly, and we figured the driving out. It's surprisingly easy to drive in Italy. If you do want to travel around Italy, getting a car is not hard. And although I was told, we get the right side of the road here, and I was told at the rental car place, he says, "Do you have an international driver's license?" And I said, "No, I wasn't informed that I needed one when I reserved the car." And he said, "Well, you do. And if you get pulled over, it's $1,000 fine. So don't get pulled over, but we're happy to rent the car to you."
Wow.
So,
really? I've never heard that.
I had to sign a document that said that I knew that it was against the law to drive in Italy without an international license.
You go all over the place, but you probably don't rent a car. Okay. Wow, that's interesting, Bob. That didn't happen.
I found it very interesting.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of that before. I don't even know what an international driver's license is. I don't know how to get one.
Maybe an EU thing.
I don't know.
I think it's an Italy thing. Craig was talking a lot, the owner of this house was talking a lot about the weird, wonky driving laws. Craig was going to be required to get an Italian driver's license if he stayed here longer than 12 months. So he actually had to go get one because he did stay here longer than 12 months. So, but it's not easy. Figuring out all these, as you know, Chuck, I envy you. You're, huh?
And having to speak Italian.
And having to speak Italian, it's very challenging. Most people are very generous with their time and their willingness to tolerate our poor communication skills, and so people have been very nice. We have Google Translate, so whenever we're in a real pinch, we can do that. We go into the supermarket. Google Translate has this wonderful feature where you can take a picture of the food and it translates it for you right there in real time. And so that's helped enormously trying to figure out where the chicken soup is. When you're sick, you need chicken soup. And they don't have, soup isn't a thing in Italy. There was maybe like one choice of soup in 3 supermarkets that we visited here in the area. There's one choice of soup.
Wow.
Pizza is what you
Pizza, lots of pizza.
Lots of pizza. Matt says something about driving in it. It's a $20 money grab at AAA. Is that how you get an international license, Matt? I guess.
Okay. That may be it.
Good to know for the next trip.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I'll have to get one of those. I don't
It
really
says
rent
you
cars.
show your state license and they give you a hokey paper that says. I wonder if that's true. That's interesting, Matt. I wonder if that's the way it is here in Italy. That's so that the policia can write you $1,000 ticket if they pull you over. So you're encouraged to behave very well on the roads.
So Bob, you have a much better appreciation for Alfa Romeo vehicles, right? You've seen some good cars there?
Surprisingly, no, not a lot. There's been a few, but first of all, when you're in the city, most of the people in the city drive these little tiny, junky little cars because they're just getting trashed in the city. And when I was out on the highway, I mostly saw Audis and BMWs.
Oh,
That's
Wolfgang would like that.
Yeah, there were Audis and BMWs everywhere, and there were a few. I saw a few Alfa Romeos. I saw some Porsches. I haven't seen a Lamborghini yet. Surprised. I would have thought I'd seen. I see lots of people wearing shirts with Lamborghini written all over it, but not very many Lamborghinis.
No Ferraris
And,
creeping around.
no
Tell me-
Ferraris. I have.
Tell me more about the
I've not seen one
motorcycles.
yet.
How about the motorcycles?
GS 1250s
Do you-
and 1300s?
Moto
Do you know what
Guzzi's?
motorcycles I see? I see
Hondas?
BMWs everywhere. I saw one tiger, just one.
You saw a tiger?
I saw a tiger, and
1200?
yeah, there was a tiger here.
1200?
I'm gonna guess 1200, but I don't know for sure. But I think it was. I was very quick. I was on a corner, turning a corner.
Hear the sound though.
That's my bike.
That's sort of
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the sound. It gave it away. I heard the bike coming, and I was like, "That's a tiger. I know it is." Anyway,
That's
and then, but 90% of the motorcycles here are scooters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a gazillion of them.
Yeah.
There's like 1 in 10 would be a normal motorcycle, as you and I would know a motorcycle. They're all
Right.
scooters, and a few Ducatis. I do see some Ducatis, but not very many. In Italy, I see BMWs, not Ducatis. Oh, BMW. There's no doubt BMW has cornered the market in that style of motorcycle, Chuck.
All over Europe.
You have the bike. You totally have the bike. So.
Would that be the common man bike, Bob, as opposed to ours?
Well, I'll leave that to you and Chuck to debate after the show.
well, we are going to go down into the basement and worship
We are.
the BMW
Might be some more gin
dinner.
involved.
Yeah.
For that.
Oh, it might be also
Great.
getting more gin. Yeah, that's right, because that's in the cellar too. Right. Wow. Well,
So let me ask you this. You had not been to Italy before. You've traveled many different places in the world, in Europe as well. What has struck you as something you didn't anticipate from Italy? What was like, wow, I never would have guessed that Italy was going to have this or be like this. Is there anything that stood out as
That's a great question. There's two things that have stood out to me. One of them is the Italian people are not what I would have expected. People are so intense here. The Italians are so intense. They are so edgy and so, going to the supermarket here is like taking your life into your hands. I mean, shopping is done with an intensity I've never seen before. I mean, if you get in the way of a woman with her shopping cart, you will not survive. You'll go down. So that's one thing. Is amazing. People, they're aggressive. They're assertive. They're boisterous. And I guess maybe some of these. I've known some Italians that have some of those attributes, but it was surprising to see because it's such a different experience from France. That was the last place, similar European country, that I spent a lot of time in, and it's not that way at all in France. It's the opposite. And so I was a little bit surprised, and I'm not saying anything negative about Italian people,
Sure.
because like I said,
No,
everybody's been wonderful.
yeah.
But they're just really out in front. They're just edgy
Yeah.
and confident and they're just it's
That's
interesting. And
why they make Ducatis, Bob, and Ferraris.
yes, yeah. So that was one surprise, is the people, and then the other thing that really has been amazing to me is that the churches and cathedrals, churches and cathedrals in France blew me away. I've never seen anything like it. In Italy, and they're beautiful. I'm not, don't get me wrong, they are beautiful, but the churches are, the dome is a box with a dome on top of it. It's just painted really nice. But the sculpture and the art and the detail and compared to the French cathedrals, it was shocking. And I've been in now a dozen churches since I've been here, and that's been shocking to me. I thought I was going to be going into these Italian churches with just amazing features and spectacular sculpting, and they're much simpler, much I don't know. Have you seen that, Chuck? Did you notice that?
Yeah, the thought that popped into my head was the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
In the Vatican is remarkable, and unfortunately, there's so many tourists that you never actually get to sit there and enjoy it. And I think that it's probably one of the most intricate cathedral ceilings I've ever seen, but I was not allowed the time to actually sit there and absorb it at all. But the rest of the Vatican was really disappointing. I mean, it was just what I agree. I wasn't. There was the statues and all that stuff was not great.
Yeah, so that's the point. Is that, I mean, in the dome, the painting on the dome was spectacular. Yeah. As you said, it was just this amazing artwork, and that was beautiful. The beautiful painting, but the cathedral itself it's just a box. It was very utilitarian. It was just a box with the necessary columns to support the massive weight that was up above, and it was more or less just painted to make it look interesting. Whereas I remember one of the cathedrals I went into in Lyon, and it was just mind-boggling, the detail and the sculpting and it was very different. And again, it's a stylistic. I'm sure this is, if you studied art, I'm sure you'd understand this better. But I always thought of it.
You're seeing a lot of Renaissance as opposed to Romantic.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Sculpture styles. So you're seeing a different era of preservation. And then World War II, of course, obliterated a lot of stuff and it was put back together. But a lot of the history of certain areas comes at the time that they flourished. And so Paris flourished at a later time than Rome and Florence. Yeah. So you have a different architectural finesse or character to what took place.
Yeah, that's really good, because Florence is the birth of the Renaissance. This is
the Renaissance. Yeah.
This is where it started, right here. It's considered the birthplace of the Renaissance period.
Yeah.
And again, don't get me wrong, it's spectacularly beautiful in its own way. I'm just, in comparison, I'm finding it amazing.
The Renaissance came out of the Dark Ages, so you can imagine what actually took place.
Right. That
there was so much wealth and time and place that people could actually make these, incredible buildings and sculptures. But it was a couple hundred years later that Paris took off in another time that had another evolution of concepts and ideas. And so you build on what's prior to you.
400 years to build.
Yeah, some of these things.
Right. I mean, look at the Duomo. Yeah. Right. I mean, so
the Duomo was 150 years or something like that.
150 years. So the one in Milan was like 400 years They
So
built
generations.
canals to float the stone.
Yeah.
So first thing, we're going to build a cathedral, but first we're going to build a canal.
To
How do
bring
you
the
build a
stone.
canal in 1100? Well, you get slaves to dig a hole in the
You
earth.
get slaves. You just
So you got to get the slaves,
Yeah.
and then you start digging.
You got to feed the slaves.
And then right. I mean, 400 years to move a rock to build a big box or whatever. But that was the
Actually, you say that, Chuck, but there's a section in the dome where they showed the equipment that's used to build the structure in the 1400s. It took 100 years for the bulk of it, but you would be amazed at the technology that was available to them to move massive weights up. I mean, they built that dome without a support. They built it. They created a system to build that dome without having to build ground up support. It was a what?
No space aliens involved.
No, you should see the tools. It was really amazing to see these tools. I mean, they could have been space aliens. I don't know. I wasn't there, but
well, meanwhile,
there's no evidence of that in the.
Sorry, didn't mean to derail the conversation. Actually, I did, but whatever.
Yeah.
Too long apart. That's great, Bob. That's really it's fantastic that you and Jerilyn get to really dig in a place like that. You did this before, a decade ago in Lyon, and now you're doing it again in Italy, and that's fantastic. What a great adventure.
Yeah, it is the way. It is absolutely the way to see a country, a new place, is to just immerse yourself in it for a long enough period of time so that you can really begin to understand and feel what it's like to live here. So
yeah.
And just as we figure it all out and have it all mastered, we're going to get on a plane and go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't imagine when we'll be back. It's a big trip to come to Italy. So
yeah,
and
there's so many other places to go.
You've only scratched the surface of Italy. Italy's
I know. I can't even. And we got the South America. We've got a Chile and Argentina.
You got to go to. When you were talking about the stonework there in the Renaissance period, I'm thinking of Cusco in Peru, and the stones. Yeah. That happened 600 years prior in the Nazca period, and it was just phenomenal what took place. And and then there's China. I mean, it's just in India.
It's a long list. Yeah,
there's a long list. It's amazing, which is great. I'd rather have a long list.
What a great time and a place we live in to be able to contemplate having the experience of seeing all these places.
It's thanks to the airline industry, Chuck.
Oh my goodness, it is, isn't it? And the fact that we were born in the century.
Well, that's true too.
The good news is that I'm really looking forward to being home in 5 days, and
we are really looking forward to you being back too.
Well, thank you. This has been great. It's been fun, but there's so much going on. I'm so excited about what's happening at the winery right now. I've been following as close as I can and paying attention to some of the exciting things that are coming up. We just launched. I don't know if you saw, but the dinner the Calvin and Hobbes dinner has been launched officially, and I'm excited about what that's going to be all about, and hope folks can join us for that. Very limited 10 seats, so if you want to go to that dinner, you better get your tickets quick.
There's only 10 seats.
Yeah.
Sweets and I have had a blast in the last few weeks. It's been great. It's been really great.
Oh, I got a present for Sweets. We're going to take a kick out of it. I can't share it now. But
all right, good.
I have something special for him. So.
All right. That's good. That's good.
All right, guys. I think this is a good time to call it quits.
Very good. It's very late there.
I'm
You got
exhausted. Yes, 12:30.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Ken and Chuck, for getting on today. And I can't wait to see you guys in a few days. And I can't wait to see everybody else back at the winery. And maybe I was thinking maybe I could do if people are interested, I could do a slideshow at the winery someday, and people can come and.
Well, that's a great idea.
See all the pictures. I've shot, I don't know, 1,000 pictures so far. So there's a few things to share.
I'd love to see him. So
awesome. We'll do a big screen. We'll do like a nighttime show if anybody wants to come. And great.
The Italian job.
Yeah, free wine.
And free wine.
There you go. Hey, what?
There you go.
No, you can't do that.
No, sorry. Chuck's paying for it all.
Yeah, I'll buy you all free wine.
Yeah. Chuck's buying the wine.
I'll buy the wine. Yes.
All right.
All right,
Thank
Bob.
you, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you next. Hey, we have a special show next Monday. We have what's his name from UNH?
Iago Hale
guy.
Iago Hale
coming to. Yes, next Monday.
Oh, fantastic.
Iago Hale, yes. Yeah, he's going to be at the winery, and he's going to be on the show with us. And he's a fascinating guy studying
I haven't
kiwis.
had a chance to show him around the winery yet. I've spent so much time with him talking about kiwis and going to his farm and at UNH. That's great. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. So
excellent.
All right, we'll see you next Monday with Iago. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.